Hey everybody, it's Mike here with Mike's Drones and More, and today we've actually got a halfway decent weather day. So today guys, I've got the Promark GPS drone with me, and I've taken off the stock camera, I've put on the stabilizing gimbal, and I've also put on the action camera. This is the $20 camera that I got off GearBest. I'll leave a link down in below. And also the gimbal, you guys can get that off of Amazon. I think it's like 10 bucks. It's not that much at all. So the only downside I see to doing this is a few things. One, there's no telemetry, so you're not going to know how far the drone is up to the where you're not at. It's not going to tell you how much battery you have, how far your remote is, GPS lock, or anything like that. So there is some downside to this. If it was just a regular drone, just flying it around like the Promark P70, I wouldn't really care, but it does send back telemetry and information, so that's the only downside. And you're not going to get your follow me because it doesn't connect to the drone. So, but we'll see how it acts. I don't know if it's going to hold the GPS lock or what. So hold on a second guys, I'm going to get this calibrated and we'll get it up in the air and we'll test it out and we'll see just how well this does. Alright guys, so as you can see, I've got it sitting right down there and I've got it calibrated, and we're going to hit the takeoff button. We'll see what happens here. Alright, I'm going to bring it down a little bit guys. So far it is holding its GPS lock, so that's good. It's kind of doing what they call a toilet bowl, and it does that when the GPS is not locked in. I noticed this one, the GPS takes about a half a minute to a minute to really get locked into the to the drone, and then it'll kind of quit that little toilet bowl motion back and forth and round, so like it's going like that. I'm going to try my very best to keep this in the camera's view for you guys. We'll send it up a little ways more. There we go. And you can see it's kind of doing a little circle. So I don't know if the GPS just isn't getting a good lock. Could be the phone, could be interference, could be a lot of things. But let's bring it back a little bit here, and we'll lift it up. Like I said, I don't know how high I am because there's no telemetry. So that's the only downside to doing this, but we'll do a little pan around my neighborhood. There we go. Okay, so that's not too bad. And looks like it's still circling a little bit. Okay, so we must have good GPS lock. It stopped kind of doing the toilet bowl action thing going on there. So we'll send it a little bit further away here. And it's doing pretty good. It's not doing too bad at all. So I'm impressed. Now, like I said, the only thing that's the downside to this, guys, is that you don't have any telemetry whatsoever coming back from the drone. But we'll see the footage when it comes back. We'll see how much stable it is, or how much more stable it is with the stabilizer. So we'll just do a quick little 360 here around the neighborhood. There we go, kind of turn it around. You'll see a pond over here. There we go. Okay, so it's not too bad. And then let's go ahead and we'll bring it on down a little bit here. Now I do want to do a quick test because I want to see how close this thing gets to the original GPS starting point, and if it actually does return to home still once we do that. So let's go ahead and tell it to return to home. So it's kind of doing a little circle around me. You guys can't see that. Okay, there we go. So you can kind of see, getting really close to that tree up there. There we go. Whoa. Kind of missed its mark a little bit. Ooh. And it kind of flipped. Came down really, really hard. So that could be one more thing with the GPS lock, that it doesn't land so smooth. So let's try it again. So it didn't take too bad of a tumble, but, and I'm just going to tell it to land here really quick. There it goes. Okay. So I think if I would have let the controller just do its own thing, it probably would have been fine. It was getting close to that truck over here, to the distance, and I didn't want it to hit that truck, so I took over the sticks. So that's probably why it landed. I'm going to turn the return to home off again. That's probably why it landed so rough, but let's go ahead and take off again. There we go. We'll send it over here. Looks like my battery's about half, and that's because it is cold here in Colorado. Like I told you guys before, batteries for drones in cold weather, and batteries, they don't mix very well. So we'll send it off a little ways. There we go. Okay, so it's not doing too bad. I would really prefer to see the app, just because I want to see the telemetry. Like I said, if it was just a racing drone, of course you'd have FPV and things like that. So you'd be able to really kind of see where you're going and where you're headed. And with the DJI drone, you know, you get all the telemetry, and I'm really used to flying that way with a GPS drone, but it does hold pretty steady. You guys can see it's not a great GPS lock, and I don't know if that's because the phone isn't connected, but it is working. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it back here, and I'm going to go ahead and actually land it. And you can see the camera is nice on there. I'll bring it for you guys close. There we go. So yeah, I'm down to 1 bar, so I'm going to land it before it decides to kill off itself here. That's me, sorry. I'm trying to do too many things at one time. Alright guys, so that was the test with the Promark GPS drone with the action camera attached. I'm actually going to go ahead and stop the recording here. There we go. Alright, so upsides, it does seem to be okay. It does function okay. It's return to home. The first return to home was kind of bumpy because I had to take over on the controls because it was floating kind of close to that vehicle back there, and I didn't want it to hit that in a tree right over here. So I didn't want it to hit either one of those. So that's why I kind of came down rough that first time. That was me. But I think if I would have just let it do its thing, it probably would have been okay. The other downside that I don't like so much is you don't get any telemetry information coming back from the drone itself, so you don't know how high you are, how far you are, anything like that. I know the stock camera on this is not the best footage. It's like 720p at the best, but it's not that bad actually. So I think I'm going to put the stock camera back on it and just use that because I'm so used to flying my DJI Phantom with all the telemetry information, and it really does help out a whole lot when you have that information coming back and forth to you. So yes, it works. Do I suggest doing it? If you really can't afford a DJI or a better drone, go ahead and do it. If you're not going to be doing like photography with this thing. It's just not as smooth as a DJI. It doesn't have a stabilized gimbal or anything like that, so you're still going to get the back and forward and everything like that, where a DJI, the camera stays forward the whole time. Doesn't matter. So I guess, you know, that was a good test. It did work. We found out. So guys, if you like this little short test of the Promark GPS drone, hit the thumbs up for me, and if you want, you can hit the subscribe button. It's down below there, and next to it there's a little bell. If you hit that bell, that just lets you know when we've got new videos. We always upload on Thursdays and Fridays, every other Sunday for our Q&A, a weekly FPV, and I'm going to try my very hardest this guy's week to do a DJI little film for you guys. So anyway, thanks guys for all the support and all the comments. I really appreciate it. Keep it coming up, and in the meantime, while you're waiting for my next video to show up, make sure you keep our drones up in the air and flying high. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for hanging out. Have an awesome day.